Hey guys, this is Nate Fountain. Today I'll be doing an ultimate fruit tier list, basically ranking all of these fruits into this tier list. So yeah, let's get started. The first one we'll start with is a green with the apples. I'm gonna start with the green apple one first. Green apples, they have like a more tartar taste than the regular red apple. Apples come in many varieties, so I can't really call them a regular apple. So as for the green apple, I'm going to rank them green apple as decent because I always think that fruit should be sweet, not tart. So yeah, I'll be put in the decent section, but it's not bad. But I'll give a real red apple, the sweet one, a good tier. Next up we have apricot. What's an apricot? As I say, never had this in my life. Next up we have the avocado. Avocados are just delicious. Just any food like burgers and tacos, that'll make it really good. So I'll be putting in my favorite section because avocados are just amazing. Like they are really good. Next up we have bananas. That is also pretty good too because think about this. Banana, you get like peanut butter and jelly banana sandwich, banana bread, all the good food that's made out of bananas. So I'll be giving banana my favorite. In the S tier, everybody knows my favorites, but whatever. Next up, we have the blackberry. The blackberry is a good fruit. It's like a bit more tartar than like a raspberry or blueberry, as those are a lot more sweeter than blackberries. So I'll be putting the good section rather than the decent section. So I actually like blackberries and they could be sweet at times. Blackcurrant? I don't even know how to pronounce this. Blackcurrant. Oh, there we go. Blackcurrant. Never had that fruit in my life. Next up, we have the blueberry. Let me tell you, the blueberry, along with the peaches, are my two favorite fruits. Like, blueberries are just so good. They're all nice and sweet. I know some of them could be tart, but I like the sweeter ones better. I always think of them as sweet, so I'll be putting them into the favorite section. Next up, we have cantaloupe. Cantaloupe is disgusting. That's all I have to say. It's just not good. I had cantaloupe once and it was just all watery and I just didn't like it, so it's gonna be the first fruit put in the bad section. Coconut too. I am not a fan of coconut. I only have like coconut juice but not the actual thing, but coconut, I don't like coconut. I just put it in the bad tier. Next up we have cherry. Cherries are delicious. They are really good. Like cherry pie and regular cherries are both pretty good. Like yeah, it's good enough. It's good enough to be in the great fruit section. All right. Next up we have the cranberry. The cranberries are a decent fruit in my opinion. I like their taste, but they're like a bit tart for my liking, so I'll be putting them in the decent section. Next up we have a date and dragon fruit. I'm going to be putting date, dragon fruit, durian, and fig, and also gooseberry into that. I've never had this. Excuse me. So I just put all of it there. I heard that durian, it's like a popular fruit like in Southeast Asia. Like when you try it, like I heard that it smells pretty bad, but when you try it, it's either good or bad according to what they say. So it's like a mixed up. It's like the public is just mixed on that fruit. You either love it or you hate it. But saying that it smells bad, I'll probably not like it at all. Next up, we have the grapefruit. Grapefruits they're not really that good. I know the Valley's famous for like having a bunch of grapefruit farms, but I just don't like it. But to be fair, the only ones I really had was from the school ones, and those were terrible. I'll be putting them in the bad section for right now, unless I try a real grapefruit one day that's not from the school. But that's beside this point. Next up we have red grapes. Grapes are delicious, especially the red ones. The red ones are just really good. It's just all nice and sweet and juicy. Just really good. I'll be putting red grapes in the favorites. I'll be putting the white grapes. I don't know why they're not called green grapes. Oops. In the good section. This should be like purple and this one should be green. I don't know what the person who made this tier list was thinking. They're probably colorblind, but that's besides the point. Next up we have kiwi. I've never had kiwi in my life before. I'll be putting it there. Next up we have lemon. Lemon and limes are both pretty sour. Like lemons, like you can make like lemon cake out of it, while limes you're just doing key lime pie. But they're both decent fruits because of that, but eating them by themselves, it's not a fun time. I'll be putting them in the decent section. Excuse me, my mouse could not be stubborn. Next up we have wheat chia. Never had them before. Along with nectarine. Next up we have mango. Mangoes in my opinion are a decent fruit. I thought it would be like as sweet, but I've never really had like a mango that is really sweet. They're just like, whatever I guess. I'll be putting them in the decent section, while oranges, I actually like oranges. They're pretty good. So especially like by themselves, it's just really good. But orange juice is even better than just a regular orange by itself. So I'll just throw oranges in the good tier. Next up we have papaya, passion fruit, and passion fruit. Never be put those on the never had before. That list is getting long. Next up we have the peach. Peaches are just really good. They're like my number one favorite fruit. It's like so good, especially when you have peach pie and peach cobbler. Oh, it's so good. You putting them into my favorites. Next up we have the pear. Pears are good, but they're not like anything amazing, so I'll be putting them in the good tier. Next up we have persimmon. Never had that before. Next up we have pineapple. I like eating SpongeBob's home. It's in the grapefruit tiers because it's all nice and sweet. And I'm just eating SpongeBob's home because it's good. Next up we have a plum, Gate, and Plummel. Never had those before in my life. I don't know what I'm doing in my life, but oh well. Next up we have the raspberry. Raspberries are great. They're just all nice and sweet, especially when they're really fresh or have been in there for like a few days. They're all nice and sweet, so we put them in the great section. Next up we have the red currant and starfruit. Never had those before. So we put them in there. Next we have strawberries. Strawberries, like the more like, I don't know if they're slimy, but the ones that are a lot more sweeter, like with add stuff in there, it's just good. But the strawberries by themselves, not really the greatest fruit in the world, so I'll be putting them in the good section. Well, my sister absolutely loves them, and she eats them every single day. And I can't remember when was the last time she didn't even eat one. Next up we have tangerine. I like those too out of oranges. They're good. Especially when they're put into fruit cups with the juice. Just makes it even better. I just put it up there in the good. Next up we have watermelon. This may be an unpopular opinion, but watermelons are decent at best. I don't know why, but back when I was a young lad, I used to love watermelon. It was so good. But nowadays, I just like, man, it's not sweet. It's like the same as like grapefruit, but not as bad. Not as bad, or cantapine. So you put them in so I put watermelon in the decent section. And next up we have honeydew. That is terrible. Honeydew is just not good. I don't like the taste of it. I'll be putting it in the bad section of the tier list. Hold on. Next up we have the Asian pear. Never had it before, but I don't know if it's the same as pears here, but whatever. And also the guava and blood orange, custard apple, the ground cherry. Never heard about that fruit before. The coconut and the marlberry. Next up, we have raisins. I actually like raisins. I know there's a lot of people out there who don't like raisins, but for me, they are good. I don't get the hate for raisins. I'll be putting them up in the good tier. Not the bad, the good. And as for everything like jackfruit, mango tier, lupine, and white carrot, everything but the sour cherry was going to put in the never had before. About to throw you guys in there. And finally, our final fruit is the sour cherry. Those things are decent. They're not as good as a regular cherry, but I like sour stuff, so I'll put it in the decent tier. So yeah, as like that, I just finished the tier list. Look at all of this. My favorite from my favorites to great to good to decent to the bad, and I've never had this before. All these fruits I just never had before. So yeah, if you want to do a tourist for yourself, I'll leave a link to it down in the description below. So anyways, if you liked this video, make sure to subscribe to our channel and click on the bell icon to get notifications for every new video I upload. Anyways, peace out guys.